That's rule number one. Stay confident. You could be dead wrong, but that confidence will sell. What's up, y'all? It's Taylor coming to you today with a video, a little sit down video. You know, she got kind of cute today. Shout out to that. The sun's going down, so I'm trying to position y'all in a way where you can see me. Okay. School's about to start, and I thought, let me reach out to the pre-pharmacy students or to the people who are considering going to pharmacy school. Pharmacy school is no joke. It's rigorous, but you can do it. You put your mind to it, you can definitely do it. Today I just wanted to give you some tips to get into pharmacy school. I was on the pharmacy school interview committee for a couple years, and of course I went to a pharmacy school, graduated from there. So let's jump right in, shall we? Tip number one is to build a strong-ish connection with a faculty member, a staff member, somebody who works on campus. Those people know what's going on, especially if you want to go to that school. So if you're an undergrad right now and that school that you're in has a pharmacy program, you know, everybody knows somebody. So you want to get in good with them, and not just like get in good, but actually have a real relationship. It shouldn't be a one-way street. If it is a professor that you're looking to get close to, go to their study hours, ask for their professional opinions, in addition to asking for help with the coursework, if that's what you're looking for. If it's a faculty member, you know, kind of just ask them about their career choice, their lives, you know, get to know them. And then you can kind of ask in a natural way, okay, do you know anybody in the pharmacy field? Or they might just be prompted to offer that information up for you. That did happen to me. It gave me a couple connections. So it's definitely worth your while to get in good with them. Not only that, let me stop saying get in good, to form an actual relationship, an actual bond with these people. On top of that, they could write letters of recommendation for you. You really want to have somebody write letters of recommendation who can attest to your skill levels, who can attest to your knowledge, your passions, things of that nature. Tip number two is to just be a well-rounded student. Nobody on the pharmacy committee is looking for somebody who's simply a bookworm, just because, in all honesty, you're gonna have a lot of interactions with your patients, with your community, with your healthcare providers on that team, with other pharmacists. So it's really essential that you're a well-rounded student. Yes, get good grades, do the best you can, but also do the best that you can with your PCAT scores. I wasn't the best standardized test taker, but I got a pretty decent score. I was also thoroughly involved with a couple different organizations. If you're in pre-pharmacy now, or if you are in, let's say, a whole different career field, just make sure that you are doing things outside of that. One, they want to know that you are involved with your community, whether that be your collegiate community or the community that you live in. Maybe that means picking up some service hours, maybe once or twice a month, and just being consistent with that. Maybe that means picking an organization that you are really passionate about and becoming more involved with that, taking more leadership roles and responsibilities. If you're just working, you might want to look to see what other outreach programs your outer community has. It just proves to them that it's not just about you, you know, that you are a selfless person, because to be honest, to be a healthcare provider of service to others. So you have to demonstrate that in ways other than school. They also want to see leadership abilities. So when I said get more involved and get leadership experience, they want that, because we are the leaders of our communities. People come to us to ask us really important questions, and based on what answers we give them, really lead them in the right direction or the wrong direction. So you want to be sure to have top-notch leadership skills. So be involved, be well-rounded, and take some leadership responsibilities. If you are in pre-pharmacy school, or if pre-pharmacy is like your major right now, you want to make sure to make those years count. When I went to school, I did 2 years of undergraduate, or pre-pharmacy school work, and then I went to pharmacy school. Now I think most schools have extended it to 3 years. So yeah, it's fun to kick it with your friends, and that was something I definitely wanted to do, but you just have to make sure to balance everything. You want to make sure that your grades are looking good, especially if you don't have a plan B. If you don't have a plan B, if all your eggs are in this basket, you want to make sure that you take full advantage of these years. Get to know who you can know, do your best in schoolwork. If you're struggling, get a tutor. Many colleges have tutors for free that you could utilize. So just make sure you're utilizing your resources, because I mean, it would kind of stink if you did 3 years and then you had to spend another year preparing yourself for pharmacy school because you didn't do all that you could. Time is money. Like, let's be clear. A lot of pharmacy schools extended from 2 years to 3 years, because that's just my speculation though. You know, this is all allegedly. Them's all the some seconds that does play a major part. So you want to make sure that you are being responsible. Unless you don't care, you know, if you're going to college for free, you know, there's that. You have options to do what you want to do, but I just wanted to put that on your radar for sure. Now let's get into the interview process. I was really young when I entered pharmacy school, or when I applied for pharmacy school. I didn't have like nice clothes like that, honestly. I didn't even have a real job until after I got into college. So me and my mom went to Macy's, got me a nice little skirt suit. You could do a skirt suit, a pantsuit, what have you, but you want to be dressed. I suggest neutral colors. You know, some people want to stand out, pop out. I don't think right now is the time to do it. I think you should kind of stay on the more conservative side, because you don't know the views of the interviewer. So just play it safe, you know, make sure you don't have any cleavage showing. Make sure if you do buy a skirt suit, you go ahead and put on them tights. Okay, flesh toned or black. Personally, white's a little, no, just don't do that. For shoes, if you're a woman or if you are someone who likes to wear heels, make sure to put on a little Kit Kat. You know, we don't need any mishaps. A lot of interviews involve walking around the school and taking a look, an actual tour. So you want to make sure that you can comfortably and easily walk in whatever shoes that you decide to wear. You know, just look nice, presentable, maybe not too much makeup. Keep it really natural looking, and just showcase you. Another tip for the interview process is to be yourself. A lot of those interviews that I was a part of and interviews that I actually had at colleges of pharmacy was more conversational. They want to know who you are as a person. But with that being said, you also want to make sure that you are highlighting the fact that the patient is going to be your main priority. That's number one. So whatever you guys talk about, and when they get to the big why pharmacy school, say something about the patient being your focus. They want to have trust that you have the best interest at heart. What did I say when they ask me the big why? Because that's gonna come up.
Why pharmacy school?
I think I said something like,
you know, diagram isn't really my thing, but it just amazes me how taking a pill could change somebody's life.
or something like that. I said, you know, I was young, gave probably a corny answer, but by my answer, they understood that I really cared about patient outcomes, how the patient feels, how you can see the fruits of your labor firsthand, especially being a pharmacist. Other professions, it's a little hard because maybe you don't have as much follow-up, but in pharmacy, you are essentially one of the pillars in your community. Like, people come to you, and they come to you multiple times throughout the month for different medications or just for advice, especially depending on where you work. Make sure that that is in your why. I just have one more tip for you all, and that is something new that they added. The last time I did pharmacy interviews was in 2017. They started adding something called multiple mini interviews. Essentially, you had like 4 stations in 4 different rooms, each with a different instructor. I was one of them, and in each one you were required to do something different. So here you had like a pharmacy math problem, which you probably never saw before. It was like a dosing problem, and you had to show your work and answer the question to the best of your abilities. Some, they had a hypothetical question and you just had to think on your toes. One was a puzzle of some sort, and to be honest, I forgot what the last one was. But each room, you only spend like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes and they time you. Essentially what we're looking at during that process is how fast can you think on your feet, how fast can you think of an answer, and how confident you are at delivering that answer, as well as how did you come up with that answer. But we're really looking at not really what your answer is, but how you got there. So make sure that your critical thinking skills are on point. I'm sure college and high school have prepared you well for that, but you want to be sure to show your work and be able to give explanations, because I believe we weren't able to nod our head yes or no. We had to be very neutral, and that's kind of awkward. You kind of start second guessing yourself, but you just got to stay confident. That's rule number one, stay confident. You could be dead wrong, but that confidence will sell. And when you're giving recommendations to patients, this is kind of how it connects to your future you, your pharmacist you. When you're giving recommendations, they don't want somebody saying, I think you should take one a day. Who's gonna want to listen to that? Who's gonna want to believe you? Who's gonna want to go back to that pharmacy? You know what I'm saying? You lose trust. You say,
The dose is 1 time a day.
if you don't know, you say, you know what, let me look that up. I'm not really sure. Do what you need to do. With all those tips, let me tell you this. Some pharmacy schools are actually closing down. The enrollment is not what it used to be. The pharmacy field is kind of becoming more so saturated. They're not getting enough students. So I'm gonna be honest, last time I checked, it wasn't as difficult to get into pharmacy school as it was before. So I'm not sure if that'll give you any kind of consolation, if that'll give you any kind of comfort. That's not to say like, oh, you know, you could do the bare minimum and get into pharmacy school. That's just saying, hey, maybe your test scores aren't what you had anticipated. Apply to pharmacy school anyway, because you never know. You might be the one that gets in. And just because the market is saturated doesn't mean there's not a place for you. YouTube is saturated. So many people like myself are just now joining. Makeup is saturated. Fenty Beauty's doing awesome. The market might be saturated, but one thing that the market doesn't have yet is you. So don't lose confidence. Be ready for the journey. Be excited. Be ready for it. You just never know what can happen. But to me, if I was a student, I would feel a little more relieved because my PCAT scores weren't the best. So I was a little self-conscious about that, but I still got in. So chances are you might even have a higher chance of getting in if your well-roundedness of one area in your academic career is lacking. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this helped. Good luck to everybody who is starting classes. Good luck to everyone who is planning on applying to pharmacy school or is preparing for it. It's a journey, but I'd say enjoy the journey. Enjoy it. Because however many years it seems like it's gonna take forever, but it goes by so quick. And it's hard, but it's so rewarding. So shout out to you for even considering pharmacy, and yeah, happy semester. I really do wish you all a prosperous year. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video to somebody who might find it helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.